Welcome back to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I really don't understand what's going on because it's back-to-back videos for this game. I mean, we've had one that was tips and tricks that was originally supposed to be a funny moments kind of sarcastic type video, but the more I thought into it, it actually turned out to be tips. But this one, we are going through the patch notes for 1.0.3.1. It's going to be the final patch before the raid releases, or that's what's supposed to be happening, and it's a continuation of 1.0.3, which released fairly recently. What I'm going to do is link the patch notes in the description so that you guys can go and check them out in full. And I just want to talk to you because some of these are quite funny, and just the fact that they're a bug and they've been in the game for nearly 2 months now is actually kind of stupid. There are a couple of serious ones in here which are helpful for players that have been struggling. So we're going to start with fix the bug where the behemoth drone would sometimes stop shooting. I mean, if you're playing a game you're taking down a behemoth, it's better for the player when the behemoth doesn't shoot at you, but obviously it's a bug in the game, they need to fix it. They fixed the bug where players could tumble downstairs, and I believe they've also sorted it so there's no more sliding down the stairs animation. So that's a pretty decent one as well. Then we have more initial customization, so when you first launch the game there's going to be more customization options available. And you can also gender switch whenever you fancy, so you can go from one day to the next. If you want to identify as a man, you can do that. Identify as a woman, you can do that. I mean, they only have 2 genders in this game, so those of you that want to identify as a chair leg, I'm sorry, but this ain't the game for you. They fixed an issue where players lost items or devices when going from PvP back into the PvE modes. Although, if you had thermal or night vision binoculars and water canteens that have disappeared, they are still going to be stuck until a future title update, so basically until further notice. So I'm sorry, but if you're looking for some form of hydration, your only choice at the minute is to just jump into the sea and drown yourself. Players were apparently losing control of their character, so you literally have no control over what your character does. When you switch to the sensor grenade launcher, that one has been fixed. Now this one is just so stupid. Fixed an issue where the helicopter would follow players inside Erewhon when doing the mission Proof of Life. And it's kind of ironic how it's called Proof of Life and a helicopter's following you inside a social hub. And I mean, you learn something new every day. I didn't know helicopters had feelings and emotions. They've also fixed an issue where kicking someone or voting to kick someone from a PvP game prompted a different username. So if you're playing PvP, you want to kick someone because they're annoying you, whatever the reason is, the game literally doesn't want you doing it, it's just going to pop up with other names. Now this one's a little bit more serious, and I'm glad they fixed this for those of you it has affected. Fixed campaign progression losses. If you've lost any progression on the campaign, that should be fixed. Bearing in mind, this update will be available on the 26th of November at 9 AM UK time. So by the time you're watching this video, it probably should be released, but there might be a couple of hours left or something. Now this one, we're starting to get into things that are like Harry Potter style. They fixed an issue that caused players to teleport backwards when you aimed at them in PvP. So if you saw me in your scope, if you look at me, I'm going to teleport like I'm some wizard. But that has now been fixed. Fixed an issue for players earning battle rewards without actually playing in PvP, so you could probably just stand there and you're going to get battle points. And I don't understand why nobody informed me of that one, because I was grinding, probably never going to make gold, the Ophius Mark II, whatever it's called, or the Nomad, because PvP, I was getting into it, had no one to play with, got a couple of people to join me on it, they didn't enjoy it, so that video never made it out. And now it's just back to square one. I can't be bothered to sit there and play the PvP over and over and over and over again just to get what I want. If something isn't enjoyable, do not force yourself to do it. Now this one, we're coming up to the end now, but it's a very important one to me at least. The 0% story completion bug on the identity page has been fixed. I completed the story a very long time ago now, but it has always said 0% completion, so I'm glad they have fixed that. There were a lot of other bugs in the identity section of the game, so I hope they fixed all of those too. I don't understand how a bug like this can come into it. This is also the penultimate one that I'm going to be talking about and covering in this video. They have fixed an issue that prevented field medics reviving their teammates if they set their HUD to the never state. So if they went into their settings and they put the HUD display setting onto never, they wouldn't be able to revive their teammates. I really don't understand how changing a setting like that is going to stop a revive, but I'm glad they've got that fixed. because if there was a medic near me and they physically couldn't do anything and I didn't know and I just thought they weren't reviving, I'd probably be screaming down my headset like a lot of other players would be, so I'm glad that one's fixed. And then another one that was a little bit irritating, the final one, they have fixed random vehicles exploding when you spawn out of a bivouac. It always alerted enemies. You would instantly have the yellow ring surrounding your minimap to say that there's enemies aware of your location, or at least your whereabouts, but that's now being fixed, so when you spawn out of a bivouac there should no longer be random vehicles just blowing up out of nowhere. And remember, if you want to see the rest of the patch notes and read through them in detail actually by yourself, then there is a link in the description. That is going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments as always. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.